Hi everyone, this is Diana. Now I had a request to do a video on paper lace, so that's what I'm doing today. It's just going to be a overview of the booklet and how to use the booklet and the images in there along with the overlay and the cartridge. And I'll do a simple project which is at the beginning of the book. So, and I'm using the personal Cricut, my little guy, my very first Cricut here, because the lady who asked for the, her name's Patricia, asked for the tutorial, so I thought, okay, I'll pull out my little guy, which I haven't used in a while. So let's begin. And first things first, we open it up. I'm doing very basic here, so just bear with me. If you know all about this information, I want to make it very clear for beginners. First of all, you have the booklet that tells you what is on the overlay. And I'm actually going to do this project. I saved up and cleaned up a toilet roll. Let's see. Okay, so at the very beginning, the very first page, you will see this is called Flower 1, and the first image is considered your base image, which will be on your overlay, the first image here. So I'm going to put my overlay on the Cricut right there. Go on. Okay, overlay's on. So there, that will be your first image. Now if you see how the flower's kind of greenish yellow here, and the background is more of a green. That would be your base shadow, which is over here. And to get your base shadow on your overlay, you would press the base shadow button. So for the base image, you would leave those buttons blank. You wouldn't do anything with those buttons. Those are called creative features. So the first thing is to press this button for Flower 1, that third button there, which is really the first one in the series. And then for the shadow, you would do another cut with a different color if you want. I mean, a color on color, the same color is always kind of nice too. It could have a different texture. Anyway, I don't want to get into design parts on this, but so for the shadow, which is this one here, you would press base shadow. For this image, Lace 1, you would press this button here, which is the creative feature. And for the font, now the font in the whole catalog, in the whole booklet I looked through, the only time you'll use the shift button that it's available is for the fonts. So you would press this button here to get the exclamation point. If you don't press that button, you will get the 1. Now this here is Lace 1. So to get this image, you would press Lace 1 and then set up your machine. I'm going to set up the machine for, like I say, that first project there. Okay, then to get the shadow for this, you would go down here to Lace 1, Shadow. So you would have this button, this button pressed, and Lace 1 pressed. So you would have this and this pressed to get this image. To get this image, you would have Lace 1 Shadow pressed and this button. So you would get this image. To get this image, you would press Lace 2 and you would get this. And then to get the shadow for this, which is down here, you would press Lace Shadow 2. So that's pretty much the basics on how the booklet works, and these creative features work the same for every page throughout the book. So I hope that made that clear. Now I'm going to do the first project, well, the only project that they have in the book, which is this here. So while the image is cutting, I'll cover the, I better get candy to put in there, huh? Well, I won't close one end of it up, but it calls for, on this, no, that's in French. Okay, for this it calls for cutting the image at 4 inches. So to do this project, you would do fill your toilet paper roll with candy, wrap with tissue. So I have the tissue there. There's my roll. There's the tissue. So while it's cutting, I'll do that part. Okay, so they want it 4 inches, and we're going for flower 2. So because we're going for flower 2, we're going to look through the book for flower 2. That's flower 4. That's flower 2. Now when you see this image, you go, that's not what I want. I want it to look like this. So that would be lace 1. So I'm going to put my overlay back on there. And remember, we're going to press lace 1, which is on your overlay sheet. That would be past the creative features, the 5th button at the very top. And it's marked in red, so it's very easy to understand. So first of all, I'm going to turn my machine on. And then I'm going to press lace 1 button. I don't know if you could see that over there, but I'm going to turn my machine at an angle for you here. Okay. All right, I think you can see that. So this is the button I pressed, and then I'm going to press this one. Oops, I better put my cartridge in. Okay, put your paper lace cartridge in first. None of this will work if you don't have that in. Okay, so it's lit up now. Paper lace tells me what's in there. Okay, it says slide matte paper into Cricut. So, okay, I'm going to move this. I may need this when I'm finished here. Okay, so again, we'll do that over. I'm going to do lace 1. I'm going to turn all other buttons off, and I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This button here. Okay, then I'm going to, because I know my paper, I'm using American Crafts cardstock, and I use this quite a bit, although I think they've changed the formula, the properties of it. It's a little thinner now, but this is the old stuff. So I'm going to set my speed dial at 3. I don't want it at 5 because this is an intricate cut, and you don't want to go fast when you're doing intricate cuts. Then I'm going to press my pressure dial at 4, and according to the booklet, they say cut it at 4 inches. Well, if you take the circumference of the thing you're using and go around, this really should be cut at 5.5 inches to fit this roll. So I already cut it earlier at 4 inches, just because I was just following the directions, and if you look here, you will see it does not fit. So I know I need more, but for purposes here, I'm just going to go ahead, load this, press that button. And then I know I have flower 2, I know I got lace 1, so I know I'm going to get this image cut out. So let's cut. Sometimes if your paper lifts up and it's not sticking, you can still press it down. I thought I pressed it down earlier, but I just realized I didn't change that to 5.5, so I'm going to end up with the same thing here. So I'm just going to go with it the way it is, and I'm going to unload my mat here. So it says canceling, and then it'll unload it. But anyway, as far as the cut goes, I think it came out pretty clean. Sometimes, if it's not cut enough, these little areas can be hard to get out, so I use the paper piercer, and it helps with that. Okay, this is taking a long time to cancel because it is such an intricate design, and it is in the memory of the machine. So I'm going to just move that a little, and I'm going to work on this part. Come on, cancel. There's another way to get it to spit out. Just okay, and then I'm going to just turn that off. So I think that answers the main questions on how the booklet works. Here's my little, I'll just do this little project quickly. It's probably overkill on the tissue, but have some nice little ribbon here to tie on there, and this is how it would look. But you need to get that to stick down. So that's the finished project. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and Patricia, I hope this helped you understand how the paper lace booklet works, and the overlay and the cartridge. If you have any questions, please email me again, and have a great day. And thank you everyone for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, here's the finished project. In careful measuring again, I found out that if I went 5.5, it would have been too big for the toilet roll. So if you use a roll from paper towels, that might work better, but you have this much of a gap. But if you place this over the seam, it looks really nice, and then you can put it at each place setting. This would be really nice in the black and white for a formal affair, like a bridal shower, or even a wedding party. At the wedding, this would look nice. Anyway, thanks for watching again, and hope this helps everyone. So this is just a retake on the original video, so I'm glad you watched and hung in there with me. Take care. Bye-bye.